Today is Monday, February 21st, and today was just another continuation of what I've been doing for the last 3 weeks or so. Starting with these hang power snatches, still doing 5 sets of 3, bumping up from 115 last week. And last week, so with the hang power snatches, I had some trouble with, I think, the timing as I'm sort of moving into weights that are non-negligible. And so that's the thing I was sort of trying to be the most aware of in today's session. That alongside all the other things I've been thinking about, like making sure I'm in the right position off the ground, which I guess for these hang power snatches, it's not really a part of the actual movement, but I think I'm just going to sort of take any opportunity I can get to practice my positioning off the ground, and also just for the sake of safety, like making sure I'm picking, anytime I'm picking up anything off the ground, making sure I'm not in a position that'll potentially hurt me. Because that's what happened with the first time the injury happened. I wasn't even trying to go for a snatch. I was picking up the weight to get it in the hang position. And that's when I was like a little bit lazy, and then things happened. But yeah, so thinking about positioning off the ground when I get to the hang, thinking about timing of sort of the timing of the turnover specifically, and then also thinking about my elbows. I've noticed that thinking about my elbows and sort of pulling them high does make quite stark of a difference compared to when I'm not thinking about that, if that makes any sense. So hopefully I can sort of ingrain that movement quality, I guess, into just the way I move without needing to think about it too hard. But yeah, I don't have too much to say about these. I think these were pretty solid. I think the quality of my movement got better and better through the sets, and my timing got a little bit better throughout the sets. And even with 125, it's not, I mean, obviously this is like 50%. Wait, can I do math? 125 no, this is more than 50%. This is like closer to 60, something like that. And so I guess with that being said, it is supposed to be very light, but given the time off I've had from it, I'd say that I'm pretty happy with how 125 is feeling, and I still have some room to go, but it has been like 4 weeks of this same sort of progression. So I guess I wonder if sort of there's anything bound to change relatively soon, but even if that's not the case, I think I'm still, making progress and moving in a good direction. So yeah, so this 5th set I think I like the most. I think I guess another thing I've been thinking about is like the speed of the actual turnover, so like how quickly I can pull under, and so I think that is something that has made me feel a little bit snappier and get the timing down right, without sort of cutting the extension short. So it's like not I watched this video, I guess, that like sort of made me think about it a little bit more and made me try to want to incorporate it today. And the idea isn't to like be fast just for the sake of being fast, because a lot of times that has you end up just cutting the extension short, but rather focusing specifically on the speed of the turnover. Once extension has completed or finished, sort of getting underneath the bar as quickly as possible, rather than just thinking about being fast overall. And I think that helped a lot with timing and just like making sure I'm pushing up right when it needs to be pushed up without letting it sort of crash down, because that is definitely a problem that I have had before in the past, and still have, especially when it comes to like the full variation, or I guess not the full variation, but like full as in not power, like all the way to the ground. And so that was one thing that helped. And then with these snatch deadlifts, with the 5-second eccentric, so I noted in my last Friday video that my positioning off the ground was a little bit different at home versus at Stanford, and like specifically I feel like my hips were like higher at home, and I think to the point where it was higher than it needed to be, just because I feel like, I don't know, like for me it's more just like a qualitative thing. Like it just doesn't look right, or like feel as right as when it does when I'm like, my hips are a little bit lower and I'm like pushing off the ground a little bit more. Especially with, I think, the way that I'm built, with like my torso being longer and my arms being relatively shorter. But it was good to be aware of that, I think, when I was doing these snatch deadlifts. And I think that's something I was trying to be conscious of, and something I was trying to make consistent. But finished up with these accessories and then called it a day.